And a pleasant good evening, and welcome to Greg Mitchell Field on the campus of Missouri Valley College. Tonight we have a men's semifinal action in soccer in the Heart of America Conference as the number 1 seed and the champions of the regular season, the Missouri Valley College Vikings, take on the Wildcats of CulverStockton. Last night, the CulverStockton women were on this field, and they knocked off second seed Missouri Valley 1-0. So CulverStockton women head to Benedictine Friday night for the conference title. And the winner of this match will host Saturday afternoon as Baker upset Mid-American Nazarene this afternoon in Olathe by the score of 2-1. If the Vikings win, it'll be a 2 o'clock match. And for what I understand, if the Wildcats upset the Vikings tonight, they would host at 1 o'clock in Canton. So the Baker awaiting the win of this one, and I'm sure we probably have some folks from Baker, possibly coaches or players, watching on the live stream tonight. Find out who they will play, and we welcome you as well. Should be a good match. This is the first time that the CulverStockton men's soccer team has made it into the Heart of America Conference semifinals. They did that with a 4-2 PK win over Benedictine. The score was tied 2-2 after double overtime, and in PKs, Culver won it by the score of 4-2. Blake Ordell in his second year as the head coach of the Wildcats. Valley 7-0 in the regular season in the conference, 14-3 overall, and this Culver team comes in 10-8-1 overall. They were 3-4 in the league. Back on November 1st on senior night, Valley won between these two teams 3-0. So, but forget that score because the Viking women had defeated Culver 5-0 on November the 1st, and they lost last night 1-0. All right, the Wildcats in on this very cold night. What we say, 26 degrees, 28, 26 degrees, a wind chill of 16, and it is a brisk wind tonight. Wind probably a little stronger than it was last night, and certainly it is colder tonight than it was last night. The Vikings in their home orange with the purple numerals, and the Wildcats in the blue shorts and the blue socks. Gray and blue jerseys with white numerals. So the winner of this one will host Baker Saturday afternoon. It'll either be at 1 o'clock in Canton or 2 o'clock here at Greg Mitchell. We will not have, if it is the Vikings, we won't have a live stream of that. We'll be doing football Saturday afternoon. So settle in wherever you are, nice and toasty, and enjoy soccer tonight. A very small crowd here, at least the start of this match, as the Vikings and the Wildcats are ready to go at it. Saturday afternoon, we won't be here because we'll be in Baldwin City, Kansas for the football game between the Missouri Valley College Vikings and the Baker Wildcats. Richard Ballack in goal out of Park Ridge, Illinois, for CulverStockton. And the Vikings in goal will have Christos Kontemeris. He is out of Greece. The Vikings and the Wildcats, and we're underway on a cold, rather windy night in Marshall, Missouri. The winner to host on Saturday afternoon. This one's be possession to the Wildcats, as was the case last night. The wind could be a factor. This field, it's basically north to south, and that wind is coming out of the northwest. So it's at the back, as you look at the live stream picture, it's at the back of the Wildcats here in the first half. Throw in coming for Culver. And doing that will be Jacob Shireding out of St. Charles, Missouri, wears number 13 on his jersey. Vikings will have possession now, and they give it to Contemorous. Vikings in those bright orange uniforms. In a couple moments, we'll let you in on the conversation I had with Vlade Simic, the head coach of the Vikings, before this match got underway. Vikes try to send one through the defense. Can't do it. And now there's a battle for possession around midfield, and it's taken down by Hoymeyer, John Hoymeyer. In the Culver end, now the Vikings take over, and they push it ahead to Raul Benit. Benit, here's a shot, and Malik there to grab it, and he kind of bobbled it a little bit, but held on. The wind will play some tricks tonight. But that was pretty good shot early in this match, but Malik was up to the task. And he sends this one past midfield. Back to Renit. Bonit sends it right side. Vikings on the attack. Working right side, trying to center one. Knocked away by the Wildcats. And they'll send it out on the far side. Over there to get it was Sebastian Bascon. Bascon wears number 4 on his orange jersey. Just underway, no score in this semifinal game on this very chilly Wednesday evening. The Vikings, with that conference championship, will be in the national tournament. And obviously, if they're ranked, I believe, 6th this week, if they win the conference tournament, it really help their seeding, but they should be in one way or the other. I would imagine the Wildcats know they have to win this conference tournament if they're going to get a shot at it. And Baker, with a couple of upsets, they wait in the wing. Ninkoff in control. Now he gives it off. Vikes send it to their left side. That's Mark Heeman. Heeman gives it off to Harris. They'll send one across. Vikings will keep it in play. Harris out of Spain. And they'll send this one, and Vikings want to attack. Here's a shot, and that's high and wide to the left. We've played about 4 minutes of this semifinal match. Again, not a very big crowd here tonight because of the conditions. Thomas Cooper sends it down. Here come the Wildcats, and they may have a shot on goal here. Looking to slip one in with the right foot was Doroko. And it will be possession to the Wildcats. So they're putting on a little bit of pressure early on here. Throwing it in was Shiring. Headed away by the Vikings. And now they'll send it all the way to midfield where James Morris awaits. Morris is back there along with Ferreira, Alfredo Ferreira. But here come the Vikings from midfield. That's Benit. Sends it to the right side. Now they'll work that right side. Center one, shot, and that one goes just wide to the left. May have been touched. But Balik may have gotten a hand on that. Or Balik may have gotten a hand on that. And he deflected it wide to the left. So, going to be a corner kick. They send it in. Vikes look for the header. It's loose for a moment in front of the net. Now the Vikings still have control. They'll bring it back to the middle. With the left foot, shot goes wide right. Well, the Vikings keeping that pressure on early. And if again going back to last night's match, what a match played by Culver. They played great defense, had one shot on goal by McMahon, and she made it, and that was it. Played great defense and waited for a mistake, got it, and scored. The Vikings won the last match between these two 3-0. Now Harris battling for possession. I think it's going to go to the Wildcats, and it will. Off to Tyler Hamilton. I'll send it to the far side. Again, Culver working from north to south the way Greg Mitchell Field is laid out. Here come the Vikings. Send it in. Will they be onside? There's a defender there. And the Vikings had a couple of attackers there, but knocked out by the Wildcats. Vikes get it in very quickly. Off to Mark Heeman. Now back to about 30 yards out, where it's handled there by Munar. Doroko has it for the Wildcats, and he's battling Ninkoff for possession. And it's going to be an offside, as the Wildcats had, I believe, Mackenzie Northern heading into the Viking end, but he was offside. So here come the Vikes again. Munar sends one in, knocked away by Ferreira. Vikings with possession. They'll send it back in their own end to Luke Russell. Russell tries to work it up the left side. Gives it there to Heeman. Sends it back to Russell as the Vikes work to set it up. Knocked off the leg of one of the Vikings, and that gives Doroko a chance to send it in. But his pass, no one there. He's trying to get it to Northern, but coming out of goal to take care of that was Contemeris. At midfield, Vikes have possession. No score in this first half. I think the players out there want to keep moving. It is cold, wind chill in the teens, and it won't get much better. Is that offside? I think that is onside for the Vikings, as trying to get by a defender was Todorovic. I thought for a moment they were going to say it was offside. That will be a corner. Yeah, it's going to be a corner for the Vikings. No, it's going to be a throw-in from the corner. Send it in with the left foot, but that's behind the goal. So Ballack will send it out, has that wind at his back, and he sends this one to midfield. Vikings control it there. Benit. Off to Ninkoff. Off to the right side. Here come the Vikings. Now it's knocked away. We've played 10 minutes of this match. No score. Right out in front. Oh, man, and the Vikes had a good chance there. And Todorovic, he didn't whiff on it, but he didn't get all that one. He was about 25 yards out, right in the middle of the field, and he didn't get all that one. So Russell has it for the Vikings in his own end. Vikings will keep it in. 7-0, the regular season conference champs. No score in this one. Wildcats move it up their right side. Good footwork by Holmeyer. And he'll send it back to Morse. Tomorrow night, not on the live stream, but on Stretch Internet, we'll have basketball. Nathan Gertz and Joe All will call that as Friends University out of Wichita, Kansas will be in town for a doubleheader. We'll start at about 5:30. That'll be on audio only on Stretch Internet. Here's a pass, and this is onside. Send one out in front. And that was Shireding, but coming out to take care of that was Contamoris. Wildcats were shut out here 3-0 on November the 1st on senior night. They would like to duplicate what their gals did last night here. And let's get a W. Here come the Vikings on the run, working the right side, and hitting the turf is Rosendo. Gabriel Rosendo. It'll be a free kick for the Vikings, I believe. About 21 yards out on the right side. 33 minutes to go in the first half. We have no score. Vikings will have the kick. And it's off the left foot of Rosendo, and it goes right to Ballack in goal. Here come the Wildcats. They send it back to midfield. There are a few fans here rooting for the Wildcats, a few rooting for the Vikings on this cold night, braving this cold. This one goes all the way back to Contamoris. Again this afternoon, Baker knocked off Mid-American Nazarene in Olathe 2-1. So the Wildcats will be on the road, the Baker Wildcats, this Saturday at either Missouri Valley or at CulverStockton. The Viking football team will be at Baker this weekend. And the men's wrestling team also will be in Baldwin City for the Heart of America Conference duels being hosted at Baker. So a lot happening there. On the Valley campus this weekend, women's wrestling, the Missouri Valley Invitational, starts at 9 in the morning. With the left foot, they'll send it in and goes by and in front of Todorovic. So it comes back to the Wildcats. 14 minutes into this one, no score. Here's a throw in for the Vikings. At midfield, they have possession. That is Munar. Where's number 21? Here come the Vikings. They'll send it off to the left side. Defense is there. Back to the middle. Knocked away. That one knocked away by Doroko. But it comes right to Neinkoff. Neinkoff back to midfield to Munar. Trying to send one in the right side. That's headed away by one of the defenders. But the Vikes keep it in. And that's Harris. Harris to Neinkoff. Neinkoff left side. Tries to get a pass by one of the defenders, but it goes right to the goalkeeper. And that's where the Wildcats will have it. They'll battle for possession. Knocked away, and the Vikings keep it in. They're trying to keep the pressure on here early in the first half. Neinkoff, about 40 yards out, goes to the midfield. Good interior passing. The Vikings keep it alive, and it's still loose. And finally, they're gonna try to get it to, and I think maybe Ballack was kicked. He is a little bit of pain right now. Or one of the players got kicked. Wasn't Ballack. That was Morse. But Ballack will send it to about midfield. Goals scored for Missouri Valley. They scored 48 goals this year, gave up 15. Culver scored 43, but they gave up 36. So they were in a lot of tied matches. 29 minutes to go in the first half, no score. Vikings with the possession. Bring it to midfield. Neinkov weaves his way through a couple of defenders. Sends it ahead. Vikings still in control. Out of the middle. I'll try to, again, get it through to Todorovic, and it's knocked away by the Wildcats. Up the right side is Holmeyer. Back to the middle of the field for Northern. But the Vikes keep it in. Benit. Working the right side. Get the women's. All of a sudden, we just had some music blaring out of the PA box. I don't think that's quite legal. Middle of a match. All right, here comes James Morris with it. Culver in their own end. This one sails wide and out on the far side of the field to throw in for the Vikings. Down to the 27-minute mark of the first half. Glad you could be watching, whether you're rooting for the Vikings, the Wildcats, wherever you are. I'm sure, again, as I pointed out, I'm sure there's some Baker folks watching and in tonight, interested in who they will play and where they will travel. By the way, if you're watching tonight from Baker, and I had a chance to visit with Mike Grossner, who's the football coach for the Wildcats, on Tuesday, did a pregame interview for Saturday's game. And, of course, Mike battling cancer this fall, and tremendous man, and really had a wonderful visit with him. Wish him all the best as he continues through that. And he'll have his Wildcats ready to go Saturday afternoon when the Vikings show up to play football at 1 o'clock. Vikings in their own end of the field. Now bringing it up to midfield. Send one in. Benit has the foot on it, sends it right side. Vikings look to get it on the right side, and that one goes out. Pretty good defense by Culver early in this one. And I'm sure they have pretty much, because they've scored a lot of goals this year. Both these teams have scored a lot of goals. 25.5 minutes to go in the half, no score. Just like in last night's match, the longer it goes without the Vikings, the favorite, scoring, the better chance these Wildcats have. Benit at midfield. Gives it back to Munar. Here's Benit. Vikings good, trying to keep it in, and they will. Now they'll send it back. Again, working into the wind here in the first half of the Vikings. One of the Vikings down, but I think he's going to get back up as Cooper in control for the Wildcats. Now it's knocked out. Shiredine was trying to keep that in. He'll throw it in. Looks to throw it back. Now he decides against that and fires it ahead. Speaking of ahead, that was headed away by Holmeyer, John Holmeyer. Here comes Benit. with the right foot, sends it back to the middle. Good footwork by the Vikings, and they will have possession of this one. Off to Ninekoff. Ninekoff left side. Works at corner. Same side to Heeman. Heeman back out in front. Vikings on the right side. That shot is blocked. Bonite had that one blocked by one of the Wildcats. It'll be Culver possession. 23.5 minutes to go in this first half. While we have a moment, you can watch the action. Let's let you in that interview I had just moments before the contest with Vlade Simic.
All right, you want to do a little interview here? Vlade Simic joins us before this match. And, Coach, first of all, congratulations on a great regular season. You go through the conference undefeated. It hadn't been done before.
Thank you so much.
And you get to become and you also won the Coach of the Year award. So really a good year for your program.
Good year so far, but we are not done yet. So we still have to play and continue with the season. So
now you came into this season, though you lost a lot of very good, talented players last year. So I think some people were surprised to see what happened on the field this year with this young team you had.
Yeah, I mean that's correct. We lost some great players, but again, with the team effort, we overcame those holes in a team, and we got some good results so far. So.
You played this Culver team, about a week ago, and then shut them out 3-0. What are the keys to their club?
I mean, this is a different ball game. I mean, this is a playoff, and they're fighting for their lives, same as us. So, different dimension. But we'll play the same style, same intensity like we did in a regular season, and hopefully we'll come out with a good result.
And then probably they saw that match last night. Drew's club unfortunately lost 1-0 after they defeated them 5-0. So you guys go, hey, anything can happen, right?
Anything can happen. No easy game. So you have to take it 100% seriously. Every game.
Were you surprised at what happened this afternoon? Baker knocking off Mid-America?
No, I mean both teams are good teams, and it's not a big surprise. It was probably a good matchup. Unfortunately, I didn't see the game, but I'm sure it was a good game.
How about this weather? Any concern?
Oh, it's cold. Hopefully no injuries. That's the only concern.
All right, Vlade, go get them tonight, and then hopefully we'll be hosted on Saturday.
Thank you.
All right, Vlade Simic, he is the coach of the Vikings, and had a chance to catch up with him before this match tonight. As you were watching and listening to that, no score. We are at the 21-minute mark of this first half, and no score. Culver will have possession. 31 yards out on the left side. Here they'll send this in, and it is into the goal for Culver from 31 yards out. And all of a sudden, the lead goes to Culver. And you can hear in the background some of the Culver fans, I think, and we'll have to wait and see who that was who scored. I believe it was number 14, Dylan Donovan. I'll go check when we're back to action, but I think it was Donovan who got it by Contamaris. We'll go check for sure, but nonetheless, it is an early goal for Culver, and they lead it 1-0, and that comes with 21 minutes to go here in the first half. So a big goal for the Wildcats, and we'll go check on that goal. Was it 14? It was 14. So that was Dylan Donovan, the defenseman who got that goal. Now the Vikings send one in, wide right. Well, you never know, a long ways to go, but you get that first one, you start putting a little pressure on the home team. And this will be a corner kick. Left foot coming out for the Vikings. They had one, but this is going to go wide to the right. "20 minutes to go in the first half. So Donovan got the goal. That We'll check for Donovan. That was his second goal of the year. Now it's 2 goals and 1 assist, and boy, it couldn't come at a better time. Semifinals of the conference tournament. Under 20 minutes to go in the half. And Culver, they know if they can pull off this upset tonight, they would get to host the conference championship game Saturday afternoon. And John tells me it's probably be at 1 o'clock. If that's the case, it'll be at 2 o'clock if it's here at Valley. Send it up the right side. Here come the Vikings looking to tie this match now. And the Wildcats packing it in. Ninekoff works it to the left side. And knocked away by the Wildcats. Vikings quickly bring it back in. Middle of the field, that's Munar. Sends one in right side, but that's handled quite easily by Ballack. So Culver with possession in their own end, leading 1-0. They'll send this one back to Ballack, and now one of the defenders sends it out. And they keep it in play right in front of their own bench. Cooper now loses it, and diving in and knocking it away was Shireding. 18 minutes to go in the first half. We're going to stop the clock for a moment. Referee does. Now we're back into action. Haven't had any stoppages of play until that right there in this first half. Vikes sent it all the way across from left to right. They've got it in the middle. Benit working. Good footwork off to Ninekoff. Ninekoff sends it left side. Good defense. Tries to get a pass in front. It's knocked away. Vikings keep it in. Send this one with the left foot. They try to head it. And it's out in front. Knocked away by one of the defenders. Back to Ninekoff. Vikings again keeping it in front of that Culver net. Tried to get it to Benit. Now the Wildcats clear it off the chest of one of the Vikings. That's Russell, Luke Russell. And back to the middle to Bascon. Working it up the right side. Here come the Vikings again. Boy, good defense by the Wildcats. Just not letting the Vikings get anything going in front of that net. Vikes will send it in again, hoping someone can get a foot on it. Here's a shot. That's blocked. Again, Vikings working the right side. And this one is knocked out by the Wildcats. 17 minutes to go in the first half. Your corner kick for Valley. And they send it out to the middle and send this one through, and that went through a lot of bodies, and a good job by Ballack to stay with it and go down to a knee and grab that one. Ballack sends this one deep into the Viking end. Benit battling for possession. Vikings send it in right side. Trailing 1-0. Send this one out in front. It's headed away. Valley keeping the pressure on. Here's Ninekoff centers one. Again, the Vikings keep it in. Here's a shot with the left foot, and that hits the right upright on the goalpost, on the football goalpost. Fifteen and a half minutes to go in this first period of play. Vikings battling to keep it in the Culver end. Culver defense doing an excellent job. A little collision there at midfield. Vikings will have possession. Benit Trying to work that right side about 40 yards out, sends it in. And now it comes away to Duraco. Duraco off one of the Vikings, back to Russell. And Russell to Neinkoff. Vikings trying to mount another attack. Under 15 minutes to go in the half. Send it in. Battle for possession. And I think it's going to go to the Vikings. Neinkoff quickly puts it in play. Working the right side, threading a needle with that one. Here's the center, and it's knocked off one of the Wildcats. They're doing a great job defensively. The Vikings keep the attack on here. Going to be a corner for Valley. They look to tie this match down 1-0 in the first half. And they'll send this one in with the left foot. Out in front, headed away, but the Vikings keep it in. Here's a long shot, and that's knocked away. All the way out by midfield to Northern. Northern, he loses it. Picked up by the Vikings. They'll set it in left side. This play will be onside, and it shot goes wide right. He was offside. And that was shot was taken by Harris, and he was called offside. 13 and a half minutes to go in the first half. Lottie's going to go to his bench, it looks like, and bring in Mora. Laquidius Mora. And coming in for the Wildcats at the next opportunity will be Dominic Caruso. Culver doing exactly what they wanted. They have that 1-goal lead. Now they're going to play some defense. Vikings working the right side. Again, send it in. Culver sends it right back out. And that was Hamilton, Tyler Hamilton. And now here comes Caruso for the Wildcats. And again, coming in for the Vikings will be Mora. Laquides Mora. And that clock continues to move. 12 and a half minutes left in the first half. 1-0. Send this one high. It's headed by one of the Vikings. Now headed away. It's out loose out in front. Well, the Vikings just couldn't get a foot on it. Now here's a long shot and a diving save attempt by Ballack. He dove for that one, got his hands on it, and knocked it away to the left side. Good job by Ballack. That was a heck of a play. Because Munar had wound up and fired that from about 30 yards out. Now, this one comes back to Ballack. A good job in goal. Ballack fires it ahead. You know what Culver's thinking? Let's get another one here. Well, the Vikings do a good job. Bonate with it. Swings it around to the right side. Vikes down by a goal. Late now in this first half. Here they come on the right side again. Trying to center one. They do. And here's the shot. It's knocked away by one of the defenders, and then they knock it out of bounds or off the field. 11 minutes to go in the half. Your corner coming up for the Vikings. They're putting the pressure on, but Wildcats not breaking. Send this one all the way across. I think they're going to have a re-kick here. A lot of pushing and shoving out in front. Here's a header, and it goes high and wide right. And checking in for the Wildcats is going to be Lemcool, Ben Lemcool. Where's number 16 out of Troy, Missouri. Yeah, fans are all bundled up down behind the Viking bench, and the fans here rooting for Culver all standing behind in the bleachers behind their bench. Everyone wearing stocking caps and coats and mittens, anything you can get. It is cold, and the wind has really picked it up. It is a windy night. Give me a wind chill. What do you think there, Mr. Matty? It was 16 wind chill at game time. It has to be cooler than that now, I would guess. .14 wind chill. How's Courtney handling? She all right over there? She's still alive? Courtney Campbell is on camera tonight, and the young lady doing a great job. And she, unlike Chaz and I, she has to be out in the elements. All right, this is onside, and here comes the shot. It's good, and Culver leads this thing 2-0. Wow. Dominic Caruso just came into the action, and he was wide open on the right side, stayed onside, and he put it right past Contemeris. 2-0, Culver in the first half. You could not have been more wide open for a shot than he was. 2-0 with 9:30 to go in the half, and looking down now at that bench for the Vikings, and there's some people a little upset right now. Well, gonna have to battle from behind. Give Culver credit. Have a 2-0 lead. Now the Vikings, well, a long way to go, but here's Ninekoff, tries to split a double team. He loses it. And you know right now this Culver team has a lot of energy. Caruso gives chase again. This one's going to go out. Nine minutes to go in the half. It's 2-0. Vikings, the regular season champs, but finding themselves down 2 goals in the first half. Russell will bring it up. And this weather can't help either, as cold as it is. 14-degree wind chill right now. 25 actual. Forget that, it's the wind chill. And that wind is picking up. Coming out of the northwest. In a live stream, Courtney Campbell is on camera tonight. Chaz Matty directing, and glad to have them with us. Now the Vikings will have a shot at it, and again, a nice save by Ballack. He's been sharp in goal tonight. Sure, this Culver team, some of them probably watched our stream last night and watched the ladies win 1-0 on a goal by McMahon. I'm sure some of the gals are watching this one tonight. Rooting for the Wildcat guys back in Canton. It's 2-0. Vikings keep it in. Down 2 goals. And they'll send this one out right in front of the Culver bench. Caruso out there, he had one of those goals. Here, they send this one in. It's headed away. Vikings try to keep it in, but the Wildcats will send it to midfield. Down to 7 minutes to go in the half. This one comes all the way back to midfield. And here come the Vikes. Ninekoff with it. Gives it back to Benit. Benit to midfield. Vikings trailing 2-0. Trying to keep it in, trying to get one of those goals back here. He'll send this one in, and it's headed toward the goal, but right to no problem there for for Ballack. And he'll punt it out of there. 6 minutes to go in the half. Here's Caruso. He has one of those goals. $5:50 to go in the half. And Culver will take their time now. They have the lead. 5.5 minutes to go. Send it in. Vikings will try to bring it down and set this up, but Culver playing again, as I mentioned, with a lot of energy right now. Send this one all the way back, Contemorous. And he'll bring it back to Russell. Russell is off to Munar. Five minutes to go. That's all that remains this first half. Send it in left side. Vikings would like to get one of these goals back before halftime. That one's sent out behind the football goal post. So, Culver will have a corner kick for the Vikings. They'll send this one in. It's in the middle. It's headed away. Vikings keep it in. Benite works it off to the right side. Send this one in from about 40 yards out, headed away. Now this one with the left foot is sent wide right. Well, 4 minutes to go in the half. And Culver with a 2-0 lead. Ballack will send it to about midfield. Now the Vikings have to play defense. They'll send this one in from long range, and it's wide right. Of course, that wind behind you, you can send that thing in from about 30, 40 yards out. Culver would love to take this 2-0 lead into the break. Send this one up for the Vikings. Back in deep into the Viking end. 3 minutes to go. Battle for it on the far side, and it goes out. So here's Russell. Oh, Russell almost lost that. He did lose it for a moment. Boy, that could have been very dangerous as Russell lost possession of that to Ian Schweiger. And he almost was loose in front of the goal. 2:40 to go in the half. Well, this would be a big upset if number 1 and number 2 would lose today. And number 2's already lost Mid-American Nazarene. Here's Ninekoff. Sends it left side. Vikings trying to keep the pressure on. And you can just see this Culver team playing with so much confidence right now with his 2-goal lead. They'll send it back in down to the 2-minute mark of the half. Contemorous has to come way out of goal for that one. He gets it up into the wind. It just doesn't go anywhere. So the Vikings will give it back to Russell and try to regroup here. Benite at midfield. Here comes Valley. They'll have a couple more runs at it here in the half. Here's fire this one in, and that goes wide. A good job by one of the defenders to knock that one away, and it went wide right. Good job. A minute and a half to go in the first half. They'll send this one with the left foot, And the header goes in front. Still being fought for, and now finally the Wildcats get it out of there. Boy, that ball was pinballing around in front of that net. Send in with the left foot. Wildcats just want to clear this one out with a minute to go in the half. Vikings keep it in. Down 2-0. Diaz sends this one in. It's headed away. Vikings are there. They've got 2 or 3 of the orange jerseys. Here's a shot, and it's deflected wide left. 42 seconds and counting to go in the half. And Culver close to taking a 2-goal advantage into the locker room. Send this one away. It's headed back by the Vikings. We're down to 20 seconds. Vikings bench players start to head to for halftime. Here's a shot, and coming out of goal to pick it up is Ballack. And what a first half by the CulverStockton Wildcats. What a first half as they come to Marshall, and they have a 2-goal lead, and we are at the break. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes with what should be a very exciting second half. Well, welcome back, and it's time for the second half. And how about this CulverStockton Wildcat bunch? They have a 2-0 lead as we head to the second 45 minutes. The Vikings, in all likelihood, are in the national tournament no matter what happens this week, but certainly for seeding. And for Culver, they're thinking, hey, let's go win a conference title. And they would have the home game on Saturday at 1 o'clock, I believe, John told me today, if indeed they do win. So that's what we'll go with right now if this score holds up. Vikings have it. You know what Vladi Simic wants? He wants goals early and often here in the second half, because every couple of minutes that goes by, obviously in favor of these Wildcats. There's another group of Wildcats very interested in this match, the Baker Wildcats, as they knocked off Mid-American Nazarene this afternoon, 2-1 in Olathe. They will be on the road. They'll either come here or drive by Marshall and head to Canton. We're just underway in the second half, 2-0. Blake Ordell, his second year as the coach of the Wildcats. They lost to the Vikings 3-0 on November 1st on senior night. But they would love to pay back the Vikings tonight. Here's a shot, and once again, Ballack doing a great job. He just took his time, waited for the come to him, and went down and made sure that he stopped that one. Wildcats up 2-0. Boy, if they could get another goal, wow, wouldn't that be something? Ball in the Vikings' end. I'd like to thank college president Dr. Monty Humphrey, athletic director Tom Pfeiffer, and associate athletic director Mike Mockles. They had in the president's booth heat, food, and drink at the half. We certainly appreciate that on this cold night. Here come the Vikings. Here's a shot and it's blocked. Whistle stops play. May have been a handball. I'm not sure. The shot was taken by Rosendo. That stops the clock, 42-32. A few Wildcat fans here, they've been standing. Now the Viking fans are standing. And a lot of folks, I think, at halftime said that's enough. It is cold, wind chill, about 14 degrees right now. All right, here come the Vikes. They'll send one in, and it goes again right to Ballack. Boy, he's had a nice game. Wildcats with that shutout in the first half. They'll send one down. Is this onside? It is. For the Wildcats, they'll send one in. Contamerous there takes it on a bounce and quickly gets rid of it. But every minute that goes by favors these Wildcats. Here come the Vikings. Panit sends it left side. Try to get it back to the middle. Culver sends it out. Vikings again work that left side. They have the numbers there, but the Wildcats able to knock it out again. Here's one sent in by the Vikings, and this will go wide right. Diaz was over there, but that one sailed in that wind. Remember, the Vikes have that strong wind at their back now. Strong northwesterly wind. This field kind of angles from northwest to southeast. And that wind whipping right down the field. But as you look at the live stream, the Vikings going left to right, and that is from north to south. This is going to be onside. It's a 2-on-1 onside for the Wildcats, and they score again. It is 3-0. Will it count? No. No, they say it was offside. No goal. The referee took a look, and they said offside. I didn't see the flag go up, but it was ruled offside. So it's still 2-0. Boy, that would have been a huge goal. But it is ruled offside. It was 2-on-1, but he was offside. Now the Vikings work to their right side. That is Bascon. He'll send it in. They try for the header, not there. Now it rolls right in front of the goal and picked up by Ballack. So we've played 5 minutes of the second half. The Vikings with possession. Send it down to the middle. Back to Neinkoff. Neinkoff works it to Diaz on the right side. Diaz was going to center a pass and it was knocked away. Be a corner kick for the Vikings with the left foot out in front. And it's headed away. Boy, there was a lot of contact there. Still down for the Wildcats is Santiago Durocco. And that stops the clock with 39 minutes to go in this match. Well, you're down 2 goals. You've got to find a way to get that first one. Durocco is still down.
Something.
39 minutes and 2 seconds remaining. The winner of this match will host Baker Saturday afternoon. And it looks like Durocco's back up. In all right. So here we go. Can Valley come back? Can the Wildcats hold on? We have 39 minutes to figure it all out. Wildcat fans, and there are a few of them here, and they're quite boisterous right now, as well they should be. Their team is looking pretty impressive right now. Neinkoff at midfield. Knocked back. And knocked away by Diaz at the last moment. It was offside anyway. Vikings quickly put it in play. Again, they have that strong wind at their back here in the second half. Undefeated in the regular season of the conference, but finding themselves down 2-0 here with 38 minutes left. Battle for possession. And I think the Vikings will make the national tournament, but certainly seeding a lot to do with this one. And for Culver, they're thinking, let's go win a conference tournament. We'll get in that way. Yeah. 37 minutes, 51 seconds remaining. Everybody bundled up on this cold, cold night. Munar will send it in. And he does to Benit. Benit quickly, right side. And once again, good job coming out, Ballack. He has been superb in goal. Culver won here last night in the women's match 1-0. They lead here 2-0. Send this one in, knocked away by one of the Wildcats in midfield. Vikings in those orange uniforms. Bring it in. Send one over, but that one was wide left and handled by Ballack anyway. One sent to midfield. Glad you can be with us on livestream.com tonight. Courtney Campbell on camera. Jazz Maddie directing. And whether you're rooting for the Vikings, the Wildcats, or you're one of the Baker Wildcats tuning in to see what happens tonight, we're glad you can be with us. 36:44 remaining. Tick, tick, tick goes that clock. And it certainly right now is in favor of the Wildcats. Vikings will have it about 36 yards out, right in the middle. Plenty of time, but here they'll send this in. And knocked away, and I'll tell you, Ballack is doing a great job. That one from the left side, he got that right arm out and knocked that one away. We're down to 36 minutes, so we played 9 minutes of the second half. And Culver doing exactly what they want, and they almost had another goal. Here come the Vikings. Here's a shot, and once again, going down to get it was Ballack. I believe, you may correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe in looking at stats today that he leads the conference in saves, I believe. Take a look at his totals here. Vikings send it off to Diaz on the right side. He'll send it in. Now it's knocked away and headed away by one of the defenders. Yeah, 63 saves. I think that topped the conference. And I can see why, the way he's playing tonight. Vikings send it in, try to head it. Knocked away by the defense. Vikings try to keep it in, but here come the Wildcats again. They're just not letting the Vikings set much up here, at least early in the second half. Now they do get it in. Try it with the right foot. It's knocked away by one of the defenders. That was Mora trying to get that one through. And as this match continues, you'll start to, well, you'll see. Maybe a little frustration. Not yet, but as that clock continues to move, we may. Here's a corner, and it's headed. Oh, is it in? Yes, I think the Vikings got a goal. And I didn't see who got it to make it 2-1. I'll have to go check. We'll look at replay and see if we can't find out who got the goal. But that was off the corner kick. And the Vikings get a goal to make it 2-1. We'll go check. Go ask the PA people. Yeah, they'll know. So we'll find out who that goal was. It was just there were players from both sides right in front, and it came right off the corner kick. So it's 2-1. Vikings get one of those goals back. Okay, the goal is going to Bascon. Sebastian Bascon got the goal. So it's 2-1. That really changes things now. Vikings spring in the step now after that goal by Bascon. 33 minutes to go. 2-1 Culver. 14-degree wind chill. Windy. And a pretty good soccer match going on. And you can hear some of the fans down below us. Viking fans behind their bench, the Culver fans behind theirs. All right, this is going to be Culver possession from 35 yards out. 2-1, Culver with the lead. Here's DeRocco, sends this one in, and it goes right by one of the Wildcats who was cutting in from the right side. Being able to get contact with that, he may have gotten that goal right back. 32.5 minutes left, 2-1, Culver. Here come the Vikings. Diaz up the right side. Vikes have scored 1 goal here in the half. Diaz stops. Couple of defenders there. Gives it back out. Vikings will send it in with the left foot. That ball is in front. Vikes still have it. Now to Neinkoff. Neinkoff pushes it in. Neinkoff gets it back with the left foot. Sends it wide left.
Try it again. I couldn't hear you. Yeah, we're freezing our rears off here. It's 2-1. They're up.
So still 2-1.
Yeah, our team's winning, and this team made 1 score on them. 1 goal on them. Yeah.
As the Wildcat goalie sends it in. Well, the Vikes are able to keep it from going past midfield. Rosendo. Now he loses control of it.
We'll call you and let you know what the verdict is, buddy. Bye.
Back out front, it'll be Viking possession. They bring it up the left side. Back to the middle. Ball loose in front. Still loose in front. Knocked away by one of the defenders. Oh, boy. One of the defenders was able to get a piece of that with his body and keep it away. But the Vikings on the attack again. Culver survives this attack. Northern has it. Cross midfield, he sends it in. This one is kept in by Abascon, he of the Viking goal. 30.5 minutes left. 2-1 Culver trying to pull off an upset tonight in Marshall. That's Northern across the way. We'll put it in play. It is. Well, no, that was Shireding, excuse me. Shireding with the throw in. I think the Vikings can ill afford to give up another goal here. Shireding tosses this one in. Now the Vikings trying to get control of this and move downfield. The Wildcats punch it back in. And now they may be onside for this one. Ball was loose for a moment out front. One of the Vikings goes down. He'll get back up slowly, and Vikings have possession. .29 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. And it's 2-1. Wildcats with the lead. Here come the Vikings on the run, on the attack. Go left side. Bring it back to the middle. Shot. That is off of one of the defenders. Goes back to about 30 yards out. And Culver will have it up there right side. Send it all the way in. Contemeros comes all the way out from goal and runs into one of his own players. They're both okay. Contemeros was way out on that right side. Corner kick coming for the Wildcats. They'll send it in with the left foot. Out in front, it's headed toward the goal, but they'll knocked away. Wildcats keep it into the middle. They'll send this one high, wide, and right toward the Malcolm Student Center. Quite a few students now gathering, it looks like, in the center. Some observing the soccer match here. If you have not been here for a while, the Malcolm Student Center, beautiful addition to this campus that sits at the northeast corner of the football field. Under 28 minutes to go now. 2-1 Culver. And the throw in coming to Valley. Knocked away again by the Wildcats as Mora tried to send that one in from the right side. Well, we have a lot of people watching right now. I guess word's getting out. This is a heck of a match. Glad to have you with us on the stream tonight. Here in front, they try for the header. It's knocked away. One of the Wildcats is down. 27-14 to go, and going to get back up. That may have been the goalie, I think, that was down, Ballack. But he's up and all right. 27:09 to go. Can the Vikings get a couple of goals, or can the Wildcats hang on? We're down to 27 minutes in regulation. Here is another long shot or pass. It's off of one of the defenders. Again, the Vikings probably are in the national tournament anyway, but it'll depend on seeding. For Culver, they know they got to run the table, and they would have a home match if they can hang on to this one. 26.5 minutes left. And it'll be Culver possession. Coming in for the Wildcats will be Patrick Stutt. First time I believe we've seen Stutt into the action, and he'll replace Kevin Herbeck. And the wind picking up even more. Those flags are whipping on top of the football goalpost to the south. Again, as I mentioned, this football field sits northwest to southeast, and that's the way the wind's coming, just right down the field. Vikings get in front, looking to get something going here. Now the whistle stops play. 25:42 remaining. Vikings will have it. About 22 yards out on the left side. Looking to tie this match. And they'll send it in, and it's high and a little wide right. So, Culver with the possession. Each possession so important. I mentioned this last night. If you're in the women's match, when it was a 1-goal lead, if you're a Viking fan, this 24 minutes will go by in a blink of an eye, if you will. And if you're a Culver fan, it'll just drag on and on. This one rolls in, but it'll go wide left. Two to 1 Culver. Winner hosts Baker Saturday afternoon, conference championship. Vikings have it on the left side, knocked away by the Wildcats. They'll send it in right side. Viking defense is back, and they'll give it back to Contemeris. Vikings looking, first of all, for that tying goal. They're down by 1. Set up the middle. Vikings keep it in. Again, back to the middle. Send it to the left side. And it's going to be knocked away. It's 2 goals in the first half for the Wildcats. And to this point, that second one late in the half, big difference. Wildcats did get a goal here in the second half, but it was disallowed because of an offside. And you can just see the difference in the second half of that wind. There's no way he can get that to midfield. Here come the Vikings. They have the numbers. They'll send it in left side. Here's the shot, and it sails high. So that one sailed high. You can see on the replay. Didn't have a great angle and then sent it up high. .22.5 minutes remaining. 2-1 Culver. Wildcat possession. They'll send it in. Contemeras comes all the way out to the top of the 18 to send that one back into play. Vikings send it in deep. We kind of expected to see some more of this with that wind at the back, some of those long, long passes. And let's see if the Vikings can use their speed in the second half. That ball gets up into that strong breeze and just dies there at midfield. Battle for it. Culver's going to get possession. They'll send it in, but that'll be offside. Thomas Cooper was there. Some of the fans didn't like it, but it was a good 5 yards. That was a good 5 yards offside. All right, here come the Vikes. Off to Diaz, right side. Knocked away again by the Wildcats. Down to the 21-minute mark. 2-1, Culver. Vikings get it in. Out in front. It's kicked away by one of the defenders. Vikings will keep it in. Nice move. Bonite has this one blocked. Well, that was right off of Dylan Donovan. A cold night like that, that has to hurt. That has to hurt. All right, here come the Vikings. Get one out in front. And they'll head this one back. Head it again toward the middle. Still, Vikings still have a shot at it. And they get a foot on this one, but it rolls in. And once again, Ballack is there, and he smothers that one. 20.5 minutes to go. So we've played 25 minutes of this half. And Culver hanging on to the 2-1 lead. This time will fly by now. Viking possession. They bring it in a hurry. They're not wasting any time. They need a tying goal. Here they come. Back to the middle. Try to center it. It's knocked away. Get it back. Off to Diaz. Diaz right side. Tries to turn the corner, and it's knocked away from him. But it will be a corner for the Vikings. Corner on the right side. Looks like getting ready to come in for the Vikes will be Todorovic. He's warming up. Here is the left foot. It's headed away. It's still loose in the right side. No one can really get possession of this. Vikings keep it in. Keep it in. And this one goes to the right. Still in play. Vikings keeping the pressure on. Send this one in. And that one goes over the top. 19 minutes remaining. Culver with possession, but again, into that wind, it's just impossible to get that ball to midfield. Neinkoff to Bonite. Vikings work that left side. Back to Bonite. Out of the middle. They're going to fire one in. Wide right. Not a bad looking shot from about 35 out, but he looked for that high right corner and overshot his mark. Give the Wildcats with possession. Here's Donovan. He loses it. Vikings have possession. They may have the numbers here. They work to the right side. Here's a center, and this one goes up over the top. Vikings just cannot. And again, I think the wind is pushing that ball as well. Greg McCrudden will check in for the first time for the Wildcats, or first time this half. Most of the action now being played in the Culver end.
That's why you want to see about 10 people in the shot. So if you want to say 2, you're too tight. You're not tight enough.
All right, here's the shot. Here is the. You send it out. Again, that ball gets up in the air and just dies at about the football 40-yard line. Vikings try to get it in. Now the Wildcats will send it back to midfield, headed away there. But the Vikings still have control of it as they pass it back and forth around midfield. 17 minutes to go. 2-1 Culver. Now back to the middle. Neinkoff has it. Neinkoff works that right side. He gets by a defender, but it's picked up by another defender, and they're going to say Viking possession. So Vikes in a hurry here. And this will be Munar, who will send it in from 40 yards out on the right side. Sends it in. And that one's headed and knocked away again. What a job by Ballack in goal. That was headed, and he somehow got a right hand on that one and knocked it away. Man, has he been good tonight. As you can see on the replay, it's headed right toward the net, and Ballack got a right hand on it, knocked it away. And I looked down the Viking bench, and boy, there were some looks of frustration after that miss. Oh, has he been tough tonight. 16 minutes to go. I told you, Culver fans, that time just wouldn't not going to move very quickly if you're rooting for the Wildcats. If you're a Viking fan, there's not enough time. Vikes try to put it again. This is centered. It's still deep in the Culver end. They'll head it out of there. Vikings keep it in. Now the Wildcats going to try to get possession here and get it out of their own end for a change, but they can't do it. Vikings continue to keep the pressure on here. Nice footwork by Rosendo. In front of the Viking bench. Now the Wildcats. It'll be, I believe, possession will go to the Wildcats. Wildcats taking their time. 15 minutes to go. They'll send it in front of the 18, and that's where Ballack will have it. And now there's some chipping going on out there about midfield, and the officials stopping some play here. Both teams getting after a little bit. Now I think they're going to little argument going on. Looks like Munar trying to get a word in. We've stopped play with exactly 15 minutes left. Someone get a yellow card? I didn't. Let's see if they're going to. Well, it looks like it. Or are we? Somebody's going to get a yellow. It was at 21. I'm thinking it was Munar. 21 and 8 both getting a yellow card. So 21 for the Vikings is Munar, and 8 for the Wildcats is McCrudden, who just came in. So they were both handed a wild card. And it's 2-1, exactly 15 minutes left. Now we're ready to go back into action. For the first time in a long while, that ball goes on the Viking side of the 50. But they quickly get it right back. And this one's sent out by the Wildcats on the far side. 14:43 to go. Vikings need a goal to tie. They bring it up the left side, try to center this one, and it is out in front, knocked away, still knocked away, and that ball was right in front of the goal, and somebody just got a foot on it and kicked it away. Oh, man, was that a good chance for the Vikes. Excellent job, though, by one of the defenders because the goalkeeper was out of position, and I didn't see who it was. Somebody just got a foot on it and knocked it away. Wow. 14 minutes to go. Again, send this one back into the Viking end. Vikings are there to get it, and they push it up once again, trying to keep the pressure on. They need a goal. Rosendo loses it in midfield. Wildcats had it for a moment. Now the Vikings get it back. Here's Diaz right side. Tries to get it back to the middle. And Ninkov has it. Ninkov works across right to left. Now out in front. And this one goes in, but it's going to be handled quite easily by Ballack. 13:29 to go. 2-1 Culver. Ballack sends this one past midfield, headed right back by the Vikings. Wildcats send it back in. Headed in by the Vikes. They'll get it back. Will the Wildcats. Vikings pressuring. They want that ball. They want to set it up. They want to go. They want to pressure that goal here. They need a goal to tie it. Middle of the field. Send it back to midfield. Vikings setting it up on that left side. Here they come. Long shot. And it goes right again to Ballack. My goodness. 63 saves I have in a year, and I don't know how many he has here in this game. He has been something else. This one headed away by the Vikings. Can Culver pull off a big upset and host Baker in the conference championship? This is onside for Culver. Knocked away, and now this one is just high. They were onside and got away, and that one hit the football crossbar. So about 2.5, 3 feet higher, that would have been the third goal. Oh, man. And that was Lemcool out of Troy, Missouri. Whoa. That was close. 11:49 left. So the Wildcats, they had a goal disallowed because of an offside here, and this time that was onside. It was just a little high. So it's still 2-1. Here come the Vikings trying to get that tying goal, and they have 11.5 minutes with which to work. But it's going to be Culver possession. Coming all the way out was Ballack. Clock is moving. Now they've stopped at 11:19. Now here come the Wildcats. They'll just send this one in. Trying to hang on for another 11 minutes and 15 seconds. Ball is in the Culver end. They'll send this one in, and that is onside. Vikings defend that. And now they bring it up. Vikes will have it on their left side. Send this one in long. It's headed away back to midfield. This one goes out on the far side. Vikings couldn't control it. And again, that slow walk over to the ball for the Wildcats. Why not? Forget, we will not. If the Vikings come back and win this, we would not have the game on live stream Saturday. We'll be doing football from Baker. But if the Vikes make the national tournament, we will have that match for you next week. Be a week from Saturday. Now, hopefully we'll have a football game earlier that same day, but we'll have to wait and see what happens at Baker Saturday as far as football is concerned. 10 minutes to go. Here's a shot knocked away. And the Wildcats just send this one to midfield. Back to Russell. 10 minutes to go. 10 minutes. 2-1 Culver. Vikings, Ninekoff. Gives it back to Rosendo. Rosendo off to Bascon. He has the lone goal. Knocked away. But kept in the zone by Munar. Now working the left side of the Vikings. And the Wildcats will just send this one high in the air, but it stays in play at midfield. Knocked away now by one of the Wildcats. They've got possession. And they'll send it in, knocked back. Good job by Bascon to keep it in. But clock is continuing to move. 9 minutes left. Vikings have one in front. Work their left side. Deep left. Bring it back. Now they'll send one with the left foot, knocked away. Culver just playing an excellent, excellent game to this point. Good footwork by Bascon. He's open. Sends it in. And here's going to be a good-looking shot by Ninekoff, and the defender was there to smother that one and knock it out. Corner kick coming for the Vikings at 8.5 minutes. Clock moving. Coming in for the Vikings now is George Limbert. First time we've seen George tonight, I believe. 8 minutes left. 2-1 Culver. Here's one in front. It's still in front. Oh, boy, the Vikings had a couple of chances there. That ball was in front of that net for quite some time, and no one could get to it. Corner kick, left side for the Vikings, looking to tie. They send it in, and it is headed into the net. And the Vikings have tied it. The Vikings have tied it on the corner kick at about the 8-minute mark. And I was at Bascon again. I'm not sure. We'll have to check. But this match is tied at 2. There's the header. Goes in. I don't think it was Bascon. We'll have to wait. We'll have to go check. But anyway, 7 minutes, 38 seconds, and the Vikings have scored 2 goals to tie this thing. I'll go check and see who had the tying goal. Well, you're watching the action, and I'll tell you what a save that was by Ballack. And I believe the goal, I'll have to check that, Juan Carlos Harris. Another good save on the other end. Juan Carlos Harris got that goal for the Vikings. So he's scored one. Bascon scored one. We're tied at 2. And now a heck of a save this time by Contamaris. Be a corner kick for the Wildcats. 6:30 to go in regulation, tied at 2. Here's the corner kick. It's headed away by the Vikings. Now can the Vikings score another one and take the lead? They're tied at 2. That one goes out on the far side. Here's the throw in. Coming in for Valley will be Mark Heeman. Vikings were down 2-0. They've scored 2 goals here. Exactly 6 minutes to go in regulation. Will we have an overtime tonight?
Yeah, they will. There's a sub.
14-degree wind chill. We'll have overtime tonight. Clock, and now they stopped the clock at 5:49. Well, both goalies just made very good saves in the last minute. Here comes the throw in.
Okay, Paul, be careful.
And the Vikings send this one in, looking for, oh man, they had that one out in front. It's loose in front. And a good save by Ballack. Well, the Vikings had another good chance there with 5:26 to go. Back to midfield. They want to win this thing in regulation. Brand new match. Vikings, good footwork. They'll send this one in, and that one is just wide left. Oh, that one taking the left foot, Todorovic, and that one missed by just a couple of feet to the left.
Come on, guys, pick it up!
Well, now the momentum back on the side of the Vikings. First half, it was all Culver. Who is if either team's going to get a goal here in the last 5 minutes? Or will we go to overtime? Vikings push it up. Culver keeps it in their end, or in the Viking end. And it's going to be Culver ball. There's some arguing going on again. And now it'll be DeRocco who will send it in. 4 minutes to go. These fans may get some extra tonight. DeRocco sends it in. He works the right side. Out in front. Shot. Is it in or is it saved? It's a goal, I believe. Goal by the Wildcats. Well, we'll have to look at that. There's an argument as to whether it went in or not, but it's going to go as a goal. And that will be a goal for the Wildcats. The Vikings arguing about, but let's take a look on the replay here. DeRocco sends it in. He goes to the right side. There's the shot. That one is stopped. And then right in front, it's knocked in. And it will be a goal. Now, the player who scored ended up in the net, but they ruled that the shot was before he went in. So a goal for the Wildcats, I believe. Yep, 3-2. And I didn't catch who scored that, but the Wildcats get a huge goal there. After leading 2-0 and then it was 2-2, they get a goal with 4 minutes to go. Well, we've seen a lot of action here late. All right. I'll go see if we can't try to find out who put that one in. But let's see. The way this action's fast and furious now. Now the Vikings look. And this one goes wide to the left. We'll check if we can't get that goal for you from Culver. We're going to go with Greg McCrudden with a goal. Going to go with McCrudden with the goal, at least for now. 3-2. And now the Vikings score to tie it. This is unbelievable. Wow, the Vikings come right back, and they score to tie it at 3, and that was Carlos Munar. Woo. So Munar scores. And now Lopez is in front of the bench for the Wildcats. And who got red carded? Look out, now there's some pushing and shoving going on. 3-3, as coming in for the Wildcats was Morris. Right in the middle of that for the Vikings is Munar. But it's 3-3. The goal did go, I believe, to Munar.
And you got a red card for chirping.
And Munar did, because remember, he had already had a yellow. Munar already had a yellow card. So Munar is out with the red card, and that means he's not playing next week in the next game if there is another. And you know what? If the Vikings would lose this match and they would get into the national tournament, Munar wouldn't play.
I think the bench got a yellow too.
3-3, and we have seen more action in the last 2.5 minutes.
That was stupid. That was ridiculously stupid and selfish.
Munar scores, but then he chirps, gets a red card, so he's going to have to leave. And I'm don't know all the rules of soccer, but I believe he's out for the next game. That'll either be the conference championship or the first round of the national tournament.
I mean, he did it.
And, I mean, there's no doubt. No doubt. He got right in the face of some of the Culver players. There's no doubt about it. That was a good call. You just tie the tying goal, leave well enough alone. Lopez is now in goal for the Vikings. That's Munar, excuse me. That's Contamaris. And he was getting into it as well. Well, 2:44 to go. We're going to have overtime, or somebody else going to score one here. But Munar is out with a red card. Here come the Vikings. They want to get the win here in regulation. What a wild one this has been tonight at Greg Mitchell. Sends it up the right side. It's onside. Here come the Wildcats. They'll center this one. It's knocked away. Wildcats keep it in play. Again, sending it over. Headed away. Vikings keep it in. This one is sent in with a scissors-like kick, and it goes wide left. We're down to 2 minutes to go in regulation, tied at 3. Checking in now will be Rosendo. 1 match suspension for a red card. All right. So whether it's the conference championship game Saturday if the Vikings win, or if it's the first round of the national tournament, Carlos Munar will not be dressing out for the Vikings with the red card. Thank you, Eric Montgomery, for that information. Headed away. We're down to a minute 22. Vikings send it to the middle. They've got a shot here. Here's the shot. Nope, blocked by one of the Wildcats. Now to the Diaz. Diaz has his shot blocked out. We're down to a minute 10. It's cold as it can be, but it looks like we could be playing extra time. It's going to be a corner kick, and where that wind's blowing, this will send that kick toward the goal. So here comes the kick with 56 seconds to go. It's in the air. It's in front. It's headed up and over the goal. 50 seconds left. 50 seconds left to go. Now the Wildcats have it. 29 seconds left. I'll tell you, we've had more excitement in the last 3 minutes of this soccer match we had in the first 70 minutes, or 80 minutes. 20 seconds left. Vikings one last shot at it. In regulation, they send it to the middle. Send it off to the left side. It's headed away by the Wildcats. 10 seconds to go. Vikings one more shot. They'll send it in. Oh, and a diving save by Ballack. With 2 seconds to go, folks, we're going to overtime. We are tied at 3, and we're headed to a 10-minute overtime period, so we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back with the overtime. Don't you go away. We are ready for the first overtime. Are you ready? 14 degrees wind chill. And fans are standing. Those that are here and enjoying it. Carlos Munar is out with a red card, and he will not be in the next match, whether it's Saturday against Baker or in the first round of the national tournament. Here we go. Overtime underway. The first of 2 overtime sessions if we need them. 10-minute overtimes. Vikings have it. They'll send it up. Work the right side. Switch into the field the first overtime. Culver had a 2-0 lead at half. Vikings scored 2, and then Culver scored with about 4 minutes to go. Here the Vikings have it in front. Another shot. This one is stopped again by Ballack. And wow, has he had a match, win or lose. Culver needs to win this one to have any chance to move on, obviously. Postseason, they need to win the conference tournament. Vikings will be in the national tournament either way, but depend on the seed and all that sort of thing. A lot will depend on what happens tonight, I would think, at least the seed. Here come the Vikings in the first overtime. They did have the ball in Culver end most of the time. Work the right side. This one is blocked away, and I'll tell you, Culver has done a very good job defensively. Down to 8:46 in the first OT. Tied at 3. Munar is out. As I mentioned, then a goal by Culver with about 4 minutes to go, and then the Vikings got one, and that was the goal by Munar. And then he went to the Culver crowd. Some antics there, and he had already had a yellow. He had a yellow card, so had Greg McCrudden, I believe. But the second led to the red card, and he is out. So Munar's out. Battle for possession right in front of the Viking bench, and the Vikings had it for a moment. Now Culver, they'll send it up the right side, and I think they're going to call, let's see. Going to call a foul on the Vikings, so the Wildcats will have it. For the Vikings, it'll be Thomas Cooper. We'll send it in. 8 minutes in the first overtime. Tied at 3. 14-degree wind chill, wind out of the northwest. Culver going left to right as you look at your monitor, and that's from north to south, so the wind at their back here in this first OT. Contemorous ready and goal. Here comes the left-footed kick by Cooper. He waits, and he'll send it in. In front, it's headed into the goal, and Culver wins it. The shot was taken by Culver, and I don't know who got it. I know the pass was sent in by Cooper. Mackenzie Northern knocks it in. And how about the CulverStockton Wildcats? The women defeat the Vikings 1-0 last night in regulation, and now it is a 4-3 overtime win for Culver over Missouri Valley, and it goes to overtime. The Vikings will still get into the national tournament, but how about these Wildcats? Folks, you better get ready for a conference soccer championship in Canton, Missouri this Saturday. I believe it'll be a 1 o'clock start. It'll be 2 teams that very few thought would be there, the Baker Wildcats and the CulverStockton Wildcats, playing for the Heart of America Conference Soccer Postseason Tournament Championship. That'll be in Canton, and I believe it's a 1 o'clock start on Saturday. 4-3, our final, the winning goal in overtime coming from Mackenzie Northern. The Vikings will still make the tournament. We'll let you know where they will be and who they will play next week. That first round game is a week from Saturday. But as far as the postseason, it comes to an end. The postseason tournament for the Vikings. The Wildcats of Culver host the Wildcats of Baker Saturday afternoon. Exciting soccer tonight. 4-3 in overtime is our final. Join Joe All and myself on Saturday on KMMO and also on Stretch Internet. We'll be in Baldwin City, Baker, and Viking football. That'll be at 12:30 with the pregame show. And tomorrow night, Nathan Girl and Joe All will have basketball against Friends in the Burns Center starting around 5:30. So a lot happening. Hope you enjoyed, all of you listening, whether you're rooting for the Vikings, rooting for the Wildcats, or a Baker fan, or Eric Montgomery with the Heart of America Conference. Thanks for being with us tonight. Exciting match. Culver wins it 4-3 in overtime. Good night from Marshall.